Good evening, everyone. It is May 7th, 2023. Hopefully, the audio is better than what it was in that weekly Outlook video. Now, how am I looking to trade these guys for tomorrow? That is Monday. Well, let's briefly just look at this weekly Outlook chart. 4163 is our main area of interest, that 63 to kind of 70 ish number. If we start to break above there, I think you can get some intraday short side action around that gap close kind of thing at 84 three quarters, maybe a little bit higher, especially if it is tomorrow. So I will be looking for a short up there tomorrow, just because Mondays tend to be a bit more rotational. We tend to not get some huge trend on a Monday. So if we get that short off of there, we can have it come back towards 41.63, maybe if we're lucky towards that 41.38, 32 area. Now, that's how I'm mostly looking at this is a short around that the highs of this overall balance. So kind of around that 84 three quarters is the 4 p.m. price close. That's where I want to be hitting this thing short above there, and I'm not too interested in it. I think we could really start trading up into those. Maybe you get a sell off of 89 half that monthly close, or there's a point of control at 89, or whatever else. There's a prior month high at 94 three quarters. You've got some sort of auction that occurred on that Monday session around 4201s. So maybe you do get sort of some sort of selling up around there. However, I think the primary area is kind of the lows of that whatever this is, 80 to 4210 area. I think the time to be short is at that gap close, at that price gap close, that 84 number, which was so important. Below there, looking to get long around this pivot. I've got 4132 as the number that I'm interested in, that being the weekly VWAP close, also right around our quarterly open, and what was a really critical level during that Wednesday session. We held it a couple times, and it was clearly quite the over-under number of interest. Below there, I got to actually look at that chart to see what we're looking at. Below there, yes, looking to get long 4077 quarter. I doubt that hits tomorrow, so not really looking at much. So just really that 4132 long, and if we go to a 5 minute, you can really see during the FOMC how nicely this stayed bid. Once during the pre-FOMC action in the morning, then again 1, 2, 3 times bid, and then becomes resistance, and then that was our key support during that Friday trend up session. Above 84 is not looking to get short until 42.30, which I also doubt occurs. If we do get a gap up, so above the 61 to 65 area, I am interested in taking 51s long, that 4 p.m. weekly close. Interested in taking that long if that is before we get the upside gap close. Over on the NQ, let's take a looky over here. Yes, we are flirting with highs of the year. Our quarterly high, we are above that currently during the external trading hours, moving on up after holding. What is our our low so far during Globex is the 95% value area high from April, so holding quite a bullish number. How am I looking to trade this thing? Well, NQ has been much more bid than the ES, so likewise, I will be looking to trade quite aggressively, for me at least. Same idea as ES, looking to get long at that 4 p.m. weekly close at 324, right above the monthly close, right below the monthly high. So just a really nice number. You can see it working really well pretty much all of April. Just was a key spot. So I like that for a long if we do gap up. And then moving into this 413 number is way back. Oh man, that is from something like September, or what is this, April, August? Yeah, August. Uh, a really nice level. So what I want to see is this high of the day get run and then take 413s short for a move back downwards, ideally into a gap close. Below there, getting long 261 quarter. That is simply the VWAP close from Friday's session. I think we'll have a lot of shorts who were offside there, just looking to be bid to cover. That is also where the point of control was formed. I'm aware there seems to be a really nice level around that 242 sort of spot, and that was a key resistance and support level during the month of April. Maybe if I throw in a 30-minute chart, you can really see it. Clocked in some weekly highs here, some daily highs, weekly highs, whatever, around that 241 sort of spot, 241, 242. So maybe I get ran, and maybe my stop gets ran and it goes up. Hopefully not. Below there, looking to get long at 13,200. Nice round number, but that's not why. Looking to get long there just because the weekly point of control and weekly VWAP close both sitting down there, just 10 points below the quarterly open as well, and a little bit below Friday's value area low. So kind of outside of the first standard deviation of trade from Friday's session, at a fair price from the week as a whole, and where a lot of volume was accumulated. You can also see on the 1 minute chart we had some nice consolidation there before moving on further upwards. So an area of interest for sure. Below there, not interested in trading. So really just looking at 200 long, 261 quarter long, 324 long if a gap up, and then 413 short if we do start trading to new highs on the year. On the S&P, looking to get long, 77 quarter if that trades. Just really like the overall layout of that number. Long 32s, again, similar idea as the NQ, just right around that weekly VWAP close, right around monthly halfback, that quarterly open. That was just a critical level during that Wednesday session, and pretty much for the entire month since we created that quarterly open in April. And then a long 51 3/4 upon a gap up, short 84s. Doubtful we trade above 4,200-ish tomorrow. I don't really see it happening. I doubt I get that short opportunity at 42.30, and I'm doubtful I really get that long opportunity at 77 quarter. So, hope that makes sense. Looking for probably a pretty bid Monday session. News-wise, let me just make sure we don't have any major news. We are good. No major news. I don't think we have any major earnings, so should be a quiet Monday session. Those Mondays tend to, I believe, trade within the first two standard deviations of weekly VWAP. This is just a little bit of an outlier week, given that the second weekly standard deviation is way up at 42.08 on the ES, and to the downside, it's sitting at 40.56 below last week's low. Similarly on the NQ, the second standard deviation of weekly VWAP coming in at, just looking at my notes here, above the high of the year at 386, and the lows coming in at just around last week's low at 013. So a lot of room for this thing to move around tomorrow. So maybe a little bit of a wider range than we're used to on a typical Monday, but really staying inside of the structural reasons why that range is set. So hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. And there will be an update to this pre-market to Twitter per usual. Have a great night and trade safe.